But the other forms that changed that we got noticed, the I-129F, Fiancee Visa K1, K2, and the K3, K4. Doesn't look like change. I haven't gone too much detail, but it looks kind of the same. But you got to make sure you have the new format. Sometimes they change the form edition and it looks exactly the same. But if you don't send a new one, then they're going to reject the case or deny it later for wrong form. As well as they changed the I-134 form and changed the name. It was a whole redo. Could you talk about the I-134 changes?
Yes, so I-134 form, it used to be called Affidavit of Support, I believe. Now it's called Declaration of Support or something like that. So they changed the name. Now this I-130 form is used primarily for the Uniting for Ukraine program. But apart from that, this form is used, for example, for K1 applications. It can be used for someone who's coming here on tourist visa and they need support. Right, they're a U.S. sponsor. They can submit this form to help with that. So yes, it's declaration of financial support. It's, as John mentioned, it's total redo of how the I-134 form looked before. It's completely different form. It asks for so much information, and honestly, if you look, John, can you show the first page, please, and show the expiration date that's on the form? So yeah, interesting thing that it says it expires on October 31st, 2022. So it might not mean much, but it maybe they just did this form specifically for the Uniting for Ukraine program, and by the time it's done, they're gonna go back to the previous I-134 form that has less information again. But now, if you are doing Uniting for Ukraine, you need to use this form. But again, Uniting for Ukraine is only online application, but this is the same form. K1, new addition again, and you need to list your assets. You need to list like beneficiaries' assets. It asks for so much more information than, for example, the previous I-130 form I used to ask.
Yeah, it created a lot more work that we weren't expecting for fiancé visa cases we started, and a lot more just people's business and asking for documentation that's not needed. Now, one question that pops up a lot of time when people bring it up to me, that they'll find forms online or the forms we send them to sign. And they're like, wait, attorney, this form says expired on the top. Why are you sending me an expired form? USCIS frequently doesn't update the form. It expires, and maybe years go by using the same form. It's still valid. What you got to do is go to USCIS.gov, and I'll share the screen right here. When you go to any USCIS.gov form page, there's a part where it says edition date, and then it says the editions they're accepting. So here, for example, on the I-134, it says starting June 27, 2022, we'll only accept the April 25th, 22 edition. So it's starting June. That means they'll accept the old one that was there. But you know, there's a cutoff date when they'll stop.
For K1 visa cases, for example, or some other paper file cases, they can. But for example, Uniting for Ukraine, it's like online application, and this online application looks exactly like the new form. Yeah. So for Uniting for Ukraine, it's solely new form.
Yeah, this is for K1. So they give us some out, so it's good to use. But then again, you submit this to the embassy, they may say, "Hey, why don't you give us a new one?" So it's just there's always something going on, and sometimes there's no answer to these things. You just got to do it and then see how it plays out.
Thank you for watching this educational program. To get the latest videos, click the subscribe button and the notification bell icon. Also, help us help the immigrant community by liking this video and sharing it with your family and friends. You can also find us on other social media sites like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter, where you find the latest updates on immigration news, policy changes, and tips. Be safe and God bless. See you soon.